Ladies and gentlemen, what a night it was, a celebration of legacy, culture, and the power of black entertainment. The BET Awards, in all its glory, turned 25 this year, and what better way to honor such a monumental milestone than by diving deep into the heart of its history, the music, the faces, and the movement that shaped it. As the lights dimmed and the curtains rose, the air buzzed with anticipation. The crowd knew they weren't just witnessing another award show. They were stepping into a time capsule, a tribute to the last quarter century of cultural brilliance. From the very start, it was clear this wasn't an ordinary night. It was a reunion of rhythm, a reunion of memories. The stage was set not only to honor the present but to take us back to those early 2000s days when music, fashion, and television collided in a beautiful explosion of black creativity. One of the most heartfelt moments of the evening came when the show turned its spotlight to 106 & Park, the iconic music countdown show that became the pulse of an entire generation. A show that didn't just play music, it defined an era. A show that wasn't just watched, it was lived. The tribute to 106 & Park was more than just nostalgia, it was a celebration of influence. From Harlem to Houston, Detroit to DC, kids would rush home after school, turn on the TV, and tune into what mattered. And there it was, 106 & Park. Unapologetically black, joyfully loud, and culturally defining. As the crowd roared, the original hosts emerged. Free Marie Wright, with that unmistakable poise and warmth. Terrence J, smooth as ever, smiling like he never left. Julissa Bermudez, radiant and sharp, still embodying the essence of the show's golden years. And others who graced the show with their energy and charm over the years. The family was back together. They weren't just hosts, they were gatekeepers of the culture. They introduced us to the artists who'd go on to become legends. They gave a platform to the voices that weren't always heard. They made our living rooms feel like a front row seat to the future. One by one, artists who got their start, or their major breakthrough, on 106 & Park took the stage. It was a night of homecomings. Bow Wow emerged, the energy of his teenage stardom still lighting up the stage. Ashanti walked out, timeless in voice and presence. B2K reunited in spirit, reminding us of what it felt like to be young, wide-eyed, and glued to the countdown. Lloyd sang with that velvet voice that once made fans scream across the globe. Ciara danced with the same fire that made her a household name. Even the ghost of those iconic Freestyle Fridays was felt in the rhythm of the performances. As the show moved from artist to artist, the crowd swayed between cheers and tears. The screens flashed clips from the old studio, the classic countdown, those legendary performances in front of a live audience screaming with joy. Every beat was a memory. Every lyric, a flashback. But the BET Awards didn't just stay in the past. It wove the legacy of 106 & Park into the present, showing how the blueprint laid by the show still echoes in today's music and entertainment landscape. New school artists, inspired by the greats who came before, paid homage with electrifying performances. Some recreated their favorite 106 & Park moments, others performed songs that might have topped that countdown if the show were still running. It was reverence. It was respect. It was real. Between performances, the hosts shared stories. Laughter erupted as they recalled unforgettable guest appearances, some wild, some powerful, all unforgettable. Free spoke of how the show gave her purpose, a chance to represent young black women with authenticity. Terrence J reminisced about moments that changed his life, conversations that shaped the industry, and artists who turned into family. There was a moment of silence, too. A moment for those we lost, artists, dancers, producers, whose presence made 106 & Park the phenomenon it was. Their faces, names, and music filled the screen as the audience stood in tribute, a sea of lighters and phone lights shimmering in unity. And then, just like the show always did, the night shifted gears. The party turned up, the bass dropped, and the celebration resumed. The crowd moved like it was 2005 again. Jeans baggy, Timberlands stomping, snapbacks tilted. The energy was pure and electric. Even the set design felt like a love letter to the past. Neon signs, LED countdown clocks, a replica of the old 106 & Park studio. Every detail screamed, we remember. We honor. But the night was about more than memory. It was about impact. About how one show helped turn young dreamers into stars. About how a network believed in its audience enough to let the culture lead. About how music, television, and community can merge into something timeless. The BET Awards, in its 25th year, reminded us all of its roots. Of its mission to uplift, to showcase, to celebrate Black excellence in every form. And in doing so, it honored not just a show, but a movement. 106 & Park may have aired its final episode in 2014, but its spirit is forever. It lives in the beats of every up-and-coming artist still trying to make it. It echoes in the voices of fans who still remember their favorite countdown. It thrives in the culture it helped shape. As the final act took the stage, the applause felt different. It wasn't just for a song, it was for two legacies, 25 years in the making. For the BET Awards, which has always been more than a show. And for 106 & Park, which was always more than a countdown. Together, they defined a generation. Together, they made history. And tonight, they stood side by side, proving that Black culture doesn't just make noise, it makes legacy.